Hi, everyone. It's Front Row Phyllis. It has been referred to as the best musical of this century. The story follows the adventures of a mismatched pair of missionaries sent halfway across the world to spread the good word. I am talking about the 9-time Tony Award winning Best Musical, The Book of Mormon, and we are thrilled to have joining us today some of the cast. I'm talking about Sean Casey Flanagan, who plays Elder McKinley, and Sam Nackman, who plays Elder Cunningham. Welcome, and thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, so glad to be here.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. So for our viewers that have never seen the production or haven't seen the production in a while, take us through the story.
That the show is about two Mormon missionaries that are very mismatched, one of whom is more the like sort of perfect Mormon archetype, and then the other of whom is the antithesis. They get paired together and are sent to a place neither of them are expecting to get sent to, but very closed-minded idea of the world because they grew up in their very small community. And then when they go out and see the world, especially in as extreme a example of the outside world as they go to, hijinks ensue. They learn a lot about the world around them, and it makes for some good comedy and also a lot of heart.
Right. So why do you think it's been called one of the best musicals and comedies over the past 2 decades? That's big shoes to fit, right?
I think it's called one of the best musicals because it genuinely has it comes off as very lowbrow, but there are a lot of highbrow comedy moments and there is a lot of depth in some moments. And I think it subverts a lot of expectations. So most folks going in expecting just a comedy, and then they're almost always pleasantly surprised because it really changes people's expectations. And so I think it catches everyone off guard, and maybe they learn something, and it makes everyone laugh. So that's why.
Yeah. The chemistry between the two of you is, pretty uncanny. Did you guys know each other before working together?
The rehearsals.
No, no, we did not. Yeah.
Wow. So that worked out, didn't that?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, Sean's great to work with.
Yeah.
He's hilarious and like always on top of his game, always trying to add new things and make the show and his character as fun as it can be, and he succeeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well, it really,
Sam's
you
equally.
guys seem like you've been doing this for a long time. I mean, seriously. So yeah, there's definitely credit to that. The favorite dance number is Turn It Off. So, okay, this is crazy. How do you guys do this in the dark?
Well, a lot of rehearsal.
Yes.
That's all it takes.
Really?
Anything that's difficult that you want to achieve, just rehearse it, practice, practice, practice. Um, and then once, I mean, I think any dancer could tell you once they like know it in their bones, they could possibly do it in the dark. It's not the best way to do it, but I think the bit is well worth it.
I agree. As someone who doesn't actually dance in the number but gets to watch it happen on stage every night, it's really fun to see. Like even
Right?
after 100+ times, it's really fun to see the lights come back on, and it works.
So, what's interesting is, have you guys ever experienced something crazy from an audience member? We were just talking to, when we were in New York, we were talking to one of the Broadway guys, and he said that, because you guys hear everything, you're on stage and you hear everything, whether it's somebody coughing, whether it's their phone going off. Do you recall any kind of crazy thing that ever happened in the audience? What do you say?
Oh, sure. We've had a number of little mishaps and funny moments. There
Really?
was there was one not too long ago where at the very end of the show, there's this very sweet moment where, Elder Cunningham and Elder Price embrace and like they're friends again, and it's really sweet. And there's like a moment of like, aw, in the audience. And then one guy from the back of the audience, as loud as he could, yelled, "Hell yeah, brother!"
That's hysterical.
To which everyone else in the audience started cracking up.
Right. Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the most notable recent one. Yeah. That's the
Right.
most notable recent one. But yeah, we can see plenty and hear plenty of the audience, as you said. So there's always like I'm sure people like not disassociate, but treat it somewhat like a movie, and that
Yeah.
but we're actual human beings and we can watch you do anything you're doing in the audience. We can definitely see you.
So you guys get the call that you're playing in the Book of Mormon. Is this a dream role? Big time? Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What was that feeling like? I mean, all of a sudden you're like, what? Are you sure? Really?
It was incredible. It was great. And yeah, the best part is, I mean, you have been, of course, trying for months, and it's maybe been in the back of your mind. I mean, I think as actors, we audition so much that,
Right.
and in callbacks, we learn to like let it go. But then when you get a confirmation, it's a very, very good feeling, and it's usually when you least expect it. So
Right.
it can turn an entire week around, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so-
I mean, for me, this is the largest and pretty much the first like professional job that I've ever really had coming out of school. So, you know, to go through that audition process and go through all the callbacks, Sean is right in that like you sort of just, you know, you tune it all out and just do what you got to do, because if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. But then when it does, it's like crazy, like, oh, okay, so I'm actually good. Great. It's not ending here.
Yeah. And then
Is,
you
yeah.
looking at the dates that they give you ahead, and you're like, oh my, where am I going to be in September of next year? Where am I going to be? Yeah.
That's
My
all.
life for like a year, you know?
You know, the two creators who also created the controversial cartoon, which I love, South Park, created this production. You know, how have they been able to, which is really interesting, how have they been able to really push the limits in this show?
Well, I mean, I think they've got years and years of experience, even at the time that this show had come out, you know, through South Park, that they are very well versed in writing that super fine line of satire and, you know, making fun and who gets offended and how much and if it's okay. They're very experienced in that. And so when they made the show, they knew what they were doing. And I think also what we've said is, you know, people come into the show expecting it to be this irreverent comedy, and it is. But at the same time, it also has this really wonderful end message and a lot of heart that sort of saves it from people being like, oh, well, it's just a bunch of like mean jokes. It's not. It's also jokes that are all in a good, some real emotional depth.
There's so much in the show that is, of course, funny, but is not necessarily like made up. There's so much that is just it's fact is stranger than fiction, and like, you know, seeing people go through very genuine moments can of course be funny, and that's kind of the best part is there's plenty of genuine moments that are genuinely funny, and then there's tons of absurd moments that balances it out, that makes it really, really work. And that's how I think, as Sam was saying, they achieve it, is that so many people are thinking it's just going to be absurd, but then there's so much that's very, very real. That
Yeah, that's really deep and heartwarming and all of those wonderful things. Well, guys, I know you got a busy, busy night. Thank you again. And we cannot wait for tonight, press night. The Book of Mormon is playing just for a limited time, guys, at the Cadillac Theater. It is running now through April 16th. And I promise when you see me sitting in the audience tonight, I won't be sleeping. Okay. See you guys later. Thank you again.
2 by 2, we're marching door to door, because God loves Mormons and he wants some more. A 2-year mission is our sacrifice. We are the army of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.